From the American Experience Storybook, Ronald Reagan. Before we begin, I did have a request to say hi to Trenton. Above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. From Ronald Reagan's first inaugural address, January 20th, 1981. What do you think the son of a shoe salesman might grow up to be? A boy who played sports, acted in plays, and worked as a lifeguard. There are two right answers, both surprising. A Hollywood actor and the 40th President of the United States. Ronald Reagan began his adult life as a liberal Democrat and actor, but eventually became governor of California, host of a TV series called the General Electric Theater, and a conservative president. During his two terms, President Reagan worked to lessen big government, lower taxes, and end the Cold War. He also appointed the first woman, Sandra Day O'Connor, to the Supreme Court, won the greatest number of electoral victories in history, 525 of 538, and survived an assassination attempt. "Honey," he said to his wife about the incident, "I forgot to duck." Reagan believed in the government stepping back and allowing people to take personal responsibility and enjoy freedom. Nicknamed the Great Communicator, he used good-natured humor to win people over. Even his political opponents often liked him as a person. People most remembered Ronald for his hand in ending the Cold War. During the war, the Reagan Doctrine offered help to anti-communist movements in other countries. The Strategic Defense Initiative focused on developing space-based weapons to protect America from the Soviet Union. In 1987, Ronald famously addressed Soviet Union Chairman Mikhail Gorbachev and told him, "Tear down this wall," meaning the wall that separated communist East Germany from West Germany. Ronald died in 2004 at the age of 93 after battling Alzheimer's disease for 10 years. The following excerpt is from the American Presidency Project. Remarks on presenting the 1980 and 81 Young American Medals for Bravery and Service, December 22, 1982. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just take a moment to say a word about all the recipients of these medals. You know, it's frequently said that young people need heroes to look up to and emulate. But in this ceremony today, it's we older people who are doing the admiring and finding the inspiration in lives younger than our own. And this is especially fulfilling because it serves to remind us the caliber of people who will be leading our country in a few years. It also illustrates how strongly rooted the tradition of service and heroism is in America's young people. You know, Nathaniel Hawthorne once said that heroes can be heroes only in a heroic world. What he meant, of course, is that service and bravery can be honored only in a society that puts a premium on these qualities. When we honor those who, in service and bravery, stand out amongst us, we reaffirm our own deeply cherished beliefs and traditions. John Terry is awarded the 1980 Young American Medal for Service. John is honored for having taken personal responsibility for the appearance of his street in Philadelphia, not just in front of his house, the whole block. For several years now, he has been regularly sweeping up, cleaning up the entire block, and he doesn't do this because someone told him to. He doesn't get any money or merit badges or even much in the way of formal thanks for it. John, you looked around you in your hometown. You saw things that needed improving. And instead of riding to Washington or City Hall, you went out and got the job done yourself. And John, I might say it's really good to see you again. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I never meet any of the Young American Medal recipients till they come here to receive their medals. But I met John last year in Philadelphia where they consider him an example for young people, for adults, and for the whole city. I had heard about him, I think, John, if I'm correct, it started with a nearby neighborhood park. And John decided it needed cleaning up and cleaned it up. And from there on, he took on the chore every day of the block in which he lived. So that's another spirit of American volunteerism. And we need it not just in Philadelphia, but throughout the entire country. So we didn't know this would happen when we met, did we, John? But congratulations. Jeffrey Blake is awarded the 1980 Young American Medal for Service. As a longtime member of his country's American Red Cross chapter, Jeff has an extraordinary record of accomplishment. His record includes the establishment of a Red Cross communication system and a disaster response team that has rendered assistance at the scene of many fires and other tragic and unfortunate events. One of the things that has most amazed foreign observers of American democracy, like the French philosopher de Tocqueville, who came here 140 years ago to look at this miracle that was America, and what he discovered was the astonishing capacity of Americans for helping one another. Jeff, you've done truly outstanding work with an organization that was one of the first to earn Americans their reputation for compassion and humanitarianism. Your work carries on in this tradition and has already helped hundreds and perhaps thousands of people. And Jeff, I want you to know how proud all of us are of you. Jeff, congratulations. Robert Noble is awarded the 1980 Young American Medal for Bravery. One evening, shortly after his graduation from high school, Bob Noble of Fredonia, New York, was at a party where he and his friends heard a tremendous collision on the highway nearby. And when they got to the wreck, they found the car in flames. Bob climbed into the burning automobile several times. He removed two persons who, it turned out, died of their injuries. Well, one was dead already, as he discovered, and the other died in his arms. But he also saved a woman who otherwise would have surely died in the fire. One thing that should be mentioned about Bob is that he had overcome urgings of friends who warned him not to get involved in that rescue. It wasn't just that they were warning him of the danger. They were, in effect, arguing that it wasn't smart to get mixed up in something like that. But he wouldn't buy that argument. He didn't really even listen. He went to that car. He chose to risk his life repeatedly to help people he didn't even know. It was a grisly, harrowing experience, but a life was saved. Someone has said that heroes may not be braver than anyone else. They're just braver 5 minutes longer. Well, you were also braver 5 minutes before. Michael Brown is awarded the 1980 Young American Medal for Bravery. Michael Brown of Dixon, New Mexico, just struck a nerve with me. Dixon. I'm from Dixon, Illinois. But when he was 13, he acted alone in making a hazardous climb in the dark to aid a severely injured hiker high on a 300-foot-high mountain ledge. For several hours, hoping that rescue workers would find them, he clung to her in the darkness, keeping her from sliding over the edge. Michael's a special kind of boy. He lived alone in an adobe house in that mountainous area. No electricity, no frills, very little of what we've come to think young people need to grow up, right? Well, I guess we're wrong. The grown men and women who know this young man, especially the rescue workers who came to take over after he'd been single-handedly preserving that young woman's life for hours in the rain and darkness, will tell you they don't come any better. And Mike, as a fellow Westerner, I'm especially proud to shake your hand. The 1981 Young American Medal for Bravery would have been presented today to Jeffrey Jones from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But unfortunately, that's not possible. With us today are Mr. and Mrs. James Jones, who will accept the Young American Medal for Bravery on behalf of their son, Jeffrey Jones. Jeff, an 18-year-old volunteer fireman, died while attempting to save 3 rescue workers who had been overcome by lethal fumes in an underground tank. It was for that sacrifice that he was chosen to receive the medal. This is a reminder, a sad one, that we honor members because they take great risks and sometimes they pay the ultimate price. Mark Reiner is awarded the 1981 Young American Medal for Bravery. The incident that took Jeffrey Jones' life nearly took Mark's. Mark, 18 and a volunteer fireman, was also overcome by poisonous gas, but he regained conscious briefly and was able to grab a rescue line. It all started when an 8-year-old boy fell down a narrow pipe into an underground tank. 2 paramedics and Mark and finally Jeff went down the pipe. The little boy's life was saved, barely, and Mark here had a very narrow escape. But when it was over, 3 men were gone. We're proud, of course, very proud of them, and Mark, we're proud of you. We can only wonder at the bravery that sent Jeff and Mark into that tank. They knew that 2 paramedics had already passed out, but they felt they had to try, and that, of course, is what makes a hero. He has to try. He may measure odds and weigh the chances, but his heart seems to take over and make the decision for him. These medals we've given out today give us all something to think about. They're a testament to how good people can be, and especially how remarkable young Americans can be. We're grateful to you all for coming. God bless you, and God bless these wonderful young people. Please like, subscribe to our channel, and come back for our next video. I love you guys. As Tigger says, ta-ta for now.